Finally, drills have reached 33 miners trapped underground, but the warning coming with the celebration. And spotting the warning signs before a dog bites. The training helping to keep kids safe. Also, beyond the scenes of the auctioneering business, the Valley ties to tonight's new show.
This is ABC 15 News.
Thanks for choosing us. I'm Steve Kuzj. Well, it has been a pivotal moment in the rescue of dozens of miners trapped in Chile. Crews just finished drilling a hole big enough to help them all escape, but now they have to make sure conditions are safe before pulling all those men out. A bell first told the good news. Although 33 miners couldn't hear it half a mile beneath the earth. More than 2 months ago, a mine collapse turned their workplace into a dungeon. But now escape is finally at hand.
This morning, 8:05, we finally broke in the gallery.
From anxious relatives waiting faithfully at the site called Camp Hope, the joyous noise of impending freedom, as their pain nears an end as well. This American drill won the race to carve a lifeline to the surface.
This is the first time we're drilling to get people out of the ground, and that's a whole different ballgame.
But the men are not out of the dark just yet. The entire shaft will have to be inspected with a camera for loose rocks. Engineers know they'll have to line most of it, if not all of it, with a thick steel casing that could take days more. One by one, this narrow capsule will pull the miners free from their underworld prison. The miners are already sending mementos of their captivity to the surface. And if all continues to go well, they too will see daylight for the first time in more than 2 months. Well, they have been down there for such a long time, but officials in Chile say the soonest crews can start lifting the miners out will likely be Wednesday now. New right now, an accused pimp arrested in Phoenix. Police say 20-year-old Al Green assaulted a teen, even threatened to kill her family while forcing her into prostitution. Police say Green met the girl at a Valley bus stop. The victim's family wound up calling police. Green is now behind bars. And neighbors say his arrest comes as a shock.
He's cool, real laid-back guy, nice, kind, a helping person.
Green is facing a long list of charges here, including pandering and kidnapping. Well, this arrest coming on International Day of No Prostitution. Hundreds of people expected to turn out for the Dignity Candlelight Awareness Walk tonight. That's in Phoenix. The 1-mile trek starts at 7, but you can register at 6:30 at the Arizona Shower Door Building. That's near 27th Street and Indian School. We have new developments for you in the case of a marriage-ending murder. We're learning 53-year-old Sherry Tobin will have to undergo a mental examination. Scottsdale police say she killed her husband of more than 35 years and then dumped parts of his body in at least 3 counties. Tobin was arrested back in August. A young girl who was severely bitten by a dog this week brings attention to what is one of the most common injuries for children under the age of 12. It is estimated half of young kids will be bitten. ABC 15's Angie Holdsworth is live for us tonight. Angie, the bites to this little girl were very severe. You know, that's got to be hard on the parents.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You would imagine so. I mean, because these bites were to her neck, to her face. So that could just really be a very serious bite, and you don't know for sure where that may go. And last we understood is that there was a possibility she would have to undergo some surgery. Now, I spoke to a dog trainer today who says, with a little education, most dog bites can be avoided. Guard. Good.
The warning signs that a dog...
And unfortunately, a lot of the dog bites do involve family pets. So again, you want to make sure that you're teaching your children safety, around strange dogs, but also being careful around the home. Now, Tony also had some tips that she put on her website, and we made a link to her website. You can contact that by going to abc15.com and clicking on 15 links to get some more tips. Live here in Phoenix, I'm Angie Holdsworth, ABC 15 News.
Oh, thanks, Angie. Hey, we've got a little bit of a warm-up for your weekend here. ABC 15 meteorologist Rich Dahlquist joining us now. And Rich, at least we're not talking triple digits finally.
No, we're not talking triple digits now, but we might later in your work week. Looking up at Flagstaff, APS Weather Network. If you look very closely, some snow up in the San Francisco peaks, only on the highest part of them, basically up towards the north as well. Some high cirrus clouds moving through the area, dry across the state today. 59 in Flagstaff. We've had that stagnant air, not a lot going on with the air, so some of that pollution just sits here in the valley. Also, temperatures are warming up. Air quality, we're looking at some of the ozone. It's in the moderate range and will remain in the moderate range for the next couple of days, but we'll continue to heat up, and a lot of that heat actually generates some of that ozone. Still in the moderate range. Current temperatures, looking over at Casa Grande, 86, 90 at Sky Harbor right now, 91, Lake Havasu, 74 in Phoenix. Temperatures are continuing to heat up. coming close to 100 degrees. I'll have your full forecast in just a few minutes.
We've got a new look for you tonight at the path of this week's damaging tornadoes. The National Weather Service giving us an aerial view of their path. You can see where the first twister tore through Belmont here. That's right on the right side of this map. And the second one over on the left. A total of 4 tornadoes were confirmed in the high country on Wednesday. 4 tornadoes. Governor Brewer signed an emergency declaration freeing up $200,000 to help pay for emergency response and road repairs. Well, we just received a preliminary assessment showing 27 homes were destroyed in Coconino County and 106 damaged in that incredible storm. We've got some new video right now as we track the progress out at Tempe Town Lake. The city started filling it yesterday using water flowing downstream from Roosevelt Lake. Crews say things are actually ahead of schedule since the July dam's break, and they hope to reopen the lake 2 weeks from Monday. It's an important dedication in our valley to the war heroes in our state. The Enduring Freedom Memorial just unveiled at the Capitol in downtown Phoenix. This here is a visual reminder of the sacrifices our military makes every day in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I think it helps a little, but it doesn't take away any of the pain completely. But I know we're not alone. I mean, there's so many soldiers all across the United States that have lost a loved one.
The dedication also honors Arizona servicemen and women who served in the Southwest Asia Theater of Operations. All new in Democracy 2010, here is one of our state's largest election year rallies. And it's supposed to have an old-fashioned feel to it, with the opportunity to talk to dozens of candidates, all in one spot. The political picnic was put on by SRP. Hundreds of employees turned out with their families to talk elections and have a little fun, too. Just a quick reminder, early voting is already underway. The Secretary of State predicts up to 65% of voters will cast their ballots early. The deadline to turn them in, 7 o'clock election night.
I'm never giving up on any of them.
New hope for hundreds of families tonight, the move that could finally reunite them with the lost loved ones. And a music icon, an incredible icon remembered around the world. The many ways you can celebrate John Lennon's life.
APS Weather Network looking at Prescott, 74 degrees, few high clouds up there. Heat gets turned up close to 100 degrees. I'll tell you when it's going to get here.
At the Road Store.
Don't miss it.
A consumer alert just announced. Mercedes-Benz is recalling 85,000 cars because of potential steering problems, which could lead to a crash. 2010 and 2011 C and E-Class coupes and cabriolets are affected here. Local dealers will check your car problems free of charge if you've got them. Well, it's a full-blown currency war, and it seems to be going nowhere tonight. Finance leaders from around the world met in Washington, but failed to resolve their differences over how currencies should be valued. Now, some nations want to manipulate them just to boost exports and jobs during these tough economic times.
This was very, very difficult.
Our first look at a new reality show based right here in the Valley. The high-stakes game going on at auction houses every day. And a funeral home fights, the lengths one woman had to go to scare off an armed robber. This just in, 2 people killed in a plane crash. They went down in the Dixie National Forest in southern Utah. We're told both victims are National Park employees who flew out of Arizona to scout out an upcoming elk hunt. The cause of this crash is still under investigation. An American recently freed in Iran speaking out today. Sarah Short is gathering with friends and family in Oakland to update us on her efforts to secure the release of her fiancé and friend. The group was arrested near the Iran-Iraq border last July, and they're accused of illegally crossing the border and spying. We'll have more on that when we learn today in our continuing coverage coming up at 10. ABC 15 News is working with ASU's Cronkite School of Journalism, and we have made a commitment to air some local stories researched and reported by some of the young journalists over at the school. Tonight, the struggle to identify hundreds of bodies found in the desert in Pima County. Natalie Podgorski explains the new agreement helping put some of those names to faces.
These body bags are filled with mothers, fathers, and lost loved ones. But these people are working to change that and finally get some answers. In Tucson, Arizona, Natalie Podgorski, Cronkite News.
Right now, there are 640 unidentified bodies in Pima County, all found since 2000. Officials are hoping that by sharing this DNA, they might finally be able to find matches and identify some of these migrants. A would-be crook getting more than he bargained for in Texas. New tonight, this brave woman here hit him square in the head with an urn as he tried to hold up her funeral home.
I went right there to the filing cabinet and picked the urn up and removed the lid and just slung it at him as hard as I could.
The robber even had a knife and got away with some of Teresa's jewelry, but she wasn't hurt, although she thinks the robber was. Good for her. A worldwide celebration happening right now in memory of a music legend. Today would have been John Lennon's 70th birthday. The slain Beatles superstar who often sang about world peace. Hours ago, Google released a black and white video doodle to Lennon's song of Imagine. All of his solo albums are being re-released in a box set, and there's a documentary in the works looking back on Lennon's childhood. A reality show based on a Valley business debuts tonight. The show Auctioneers focuses on a Phoenix auction house, and it gives you a look at the inside world to the fast-paced business. Plus, you'll hear the story behind some of the items up for sale. And we talked to a few of the stars at a premiere party last month.
One thing that I really admire that TLC did is that they let us kind of be ourselves. So basically what you see is what you're going to get.
The show airs on TLC starting at 7 o'clock. Well, that'll be fun to check out and watch. ABC 15's meteorologist Rich Dahlquist is here with our forecast. And Rich, things get a little warmer outside.
Yeah, they're starting to. We had that cool weather and all that severe weather. 4 tornadoes on average for the entire year in Arizona. 3 on average. So we had 4 in one day, so that's pretty impressive.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. But outside weather, getting back to incredible as well. Plenty of sunshine here in the valley. Looking up at over it's a Squaw Piastua Peak. Beautiful day to do some hiking. It's one of those times of days you don't have to get up at 4 in the morning. Where 100 on Wednesday at 97, then cooling off back to 91 Saturday and dry for the 7 days.
We got a spicy competition here in Scottsdale, a cook-off between more than 30 teams, all to see who can make the Valley's best taco. It's all part of the Arizona Taco Festival, which also includes live music, a hot chili peppers eating contest, and wrestling matches. The winning team walked away with $7,500 in cash. Proceeds benefit the nonprofit Waste Not. Now over to Tempe for the annual Tour de Fats. People on bicycles dressed in costumes here, fun time, and they made pit stops to sip on tasty craft beers. It's a yearly favorite, drawing hundreds of ASU students and people from all over town. Brats Polka drawing crowds in Phoenix here as well. The Old World Oktoberfest is going on at the Margaret T. Hance Park until 9 o'clock tonight. Admission is free for everyone, so head on down and have some fun. The Coyotes opening the season in the Czech Republic with a pair of games against the Boston Bruins. Game 1 highlights are coming up next in sports.
The two teams will square off once again tomorrow morning in Prague, with the puck set to drop just after 7 a.m. Arizona time. The Phoenix Suns will continue preseason play this evening under the stars as they take the court for their 4th annual outdoor game in Indian Wells, California. The Suns will be hosting the Dallas Mavericks, and the temperature at tip-off is expected to be around 85 degrees, and when you're playing outdoors, that matters.
85 degrees is perfect, though.
It is. Perfect for basketball weather.
Yes.
Basketball, not hockey by any means,
no.
Of course.
Not this time of year outdoors.
No.
That wouldn't work.
Well, right now on ABC15.com, businesses around Arizona celebrating tomorrow's special date with some sales. Check them out. We'll see you later.